Alright guys, SanjaeUchiha here, giving you my review on Dragon Ball Super Episode 53. But before that, if you haven't seen my video regarding my opinion on Dragon Ball Super yet, I'll leave the link to that in the description box below, or you can click the annotation you'll see on this video. But moving on. Episode 53's title is called Reveal Black Goku's True Identity, off to the Kaioshin realm of Universe 10. So where to start with this episode? Generally, my first impression of this episode, I'd say it's a pretty good episode. It really pushes on the plot a bit. But anyway, getting into the meat of the matter. Picking up from episode 52, where Beerus and Whis were saying that they remember feeling Black's key somewhere. So, Goku, Beerus, and Whis proceed to go to the Kaioshin realm of Universe 10 to investigate and see if they can find this person or entity that has similar key to Black. After this, we are introduced to this character called Zamasu, the green Kai that you see in the opening. And we get to find out that he used to be a Kai in Universe 10, but he's actually now a Kaioshin in training, or Supreme Kai, for those of you who aren't savvy with the Japanese terms for some of these Dragon Ball titles. But anyway, yeah. So he's a Kaioshin in training in Universe 10, and right off the bat, we establish a very key link to Black in that Zamasu he's not really fond of humans per se. He doesn't seem to trust them, or you could say he hates them. It's because he's been observing humans for quite a while now, based on what he said in the episode, and he feels that their tendency to go through cycles of war, peace, and revolution to be foolish actions. One thing that should be noted, though, is that, and I think this will be used as a plot point later on, is that he's introduced with his master, Gowasu, and we see him making tea for Gowasu. It doesn't really sound like anything significant, but one thing that I picked up, and I'm pretty sure everybody who watched the episode would have picked up, is that Gowasu mentioned that only those who are pure of heart or who has a calm heart could make tea like the one he was served by Zamasu. And I think this will be used as a plot point. But anyway, so moving on, Gowasu reiterates the point that they as Kais, they are gods of creation and should not really intervene with the things that they create. As Zamasu was pointing out that he would suggest that they wipe out humans. Well, that was more or less what he was saying. But anyway, after that, Goku and company actually arrive on the planet, with Beerus and Whis explaining the situation regarding Black having a time ring. And, of course, Zamasu and Gowasu have no idea what the situation would entail. Well, not what it would entail, but they have no idea about the situation at all. And surprisingly, Zamasu has no idea what the time rings are. It seemed that it was the first he was hearing about them. Going on after that, we eventually get back to Earth, where Trunks interacts with Android 18 for the first time since coming back from the future. He was talking to Krillin, and Krillin was telling him how he has a family now, how he has a daughter, and Trunks was asking who his wife was, and Krillin, for the love of God, would not tell him straight off the bat. And the look on Trunks' face when he found that it was Android 18. And she made a joke about, well, I wouldn't say it's a joke, but she was saying how she heard that he killed her in the future timeline and how he should pay her some money because of that. But all in all, it was just a joke. It was good seeing them interact. But we eventually get back to, oh yeah, and we had some gag-like moments with the Pilaf gang, which I think the episode could have done without. But anyway, we get back to Universe 10, where Goku proceeds to harass Zamasu to spar with him. In the meantime, while that's going on, Gowasu is showing Beerus and Whis that he has all the time rings that he's responsible for here, and that none has been stolen. What's interesting is that we have 4 green time rings and a silver one, which is similar to what we see Black wearing, which That silver ring and the point I made earlier about the tea, which I believe these two things will be used as plot points, obviously. Now, after that, Gowasu gives Zamasu the go-ahead to spar with Goku, which Zamasu seems reluctant to do, but he goes ahead anyway. Goku powers up to Super Saiyan 2 right off the bat, and charges Zamasu. And based on what I'm seeing, is that Zamasu is much more powerful compared to the Supreme Kais in Universe 7. Beerus even tells Zamasu that he should not hold back else he'll die. Which I think he just said for the fun of it, but it is true. Because Gowasu was mentioning to Zamasu to hold back, which we all know that, nah, you have to go all out. Zamasu is totally surprised at how strong Goku is, which is another interesting plot point in the fact that this is the first time Zamasu is meeting Goku. And despite the fact, it is noted that it's noted by Goku, Whis, and Beerus that he has similar ki to Black, but Goku was mentioning that it's similar, but it's not exactly the same. Goku then proceeds to actually defeat Zamasu in this duel, and afterwards, well, his master Gomasu was actually pretty impressed with how powerful he was. It's fair to say that it is heavily implied that Zamasu is Black, but with how this episode was structured, it could be a case that Zamasu may go on to create Black or something of the sort. I'm gonna throw this theory out from now, which I may do a video on, that Zamasu and Black may be the same person, but it could be something similar to Kami and Piccolo in terms of how they were split into two separate beings, one being good and one being evil. It could be a case like that. But definitely this episode was pretty good. The pacing was good, plot progression was pretty good. I especially liked how they didn't explicitly say that Zamasu was Black. They kind of kept the mystery to it, and it didn't really feel like they were dragging it out by keeping that. So I definitely give this episode a 7 out of 10. The animation was okay, some shots were pretty good, but definitely a decent episode of Dragon Ball Super. Oh, and one thing to note is that Beerus mentioned, well, I don't think it was Beerus, I think it was Whis. He was mentioning that they were on a tour to all the other universes, which I think was just a lie, not to give the Supreme Kais of Universe 10 the full story, but it would be interesting to see Goku and Beerus and Whis traveling to other universes seeking answers. One thing to note though is that at the end of the episode, at the end of the episode, we see Zamasu making the same tea for Gowasu once more, but this time as he's speaking to him, we see him explaining to his master that based on the fight with Goku, he's learned more about humans and he realized his own shortcomings. But now, as he makes the tea, we realize it's becoming tainted. So it kind of ties in what I was saying in terms of writers using this as a plot point. So that's definitely one thing to note. And then he was mentioning how he won't forget about Son Goku. So it could be a case where some crazy time paradox is actually happening, and that Goku and company are actually the ones responsible for creating Black indirectly by actually going to investigate Zamasu. Because when you look at it like this is the first time he's meeting Goku, and because of them coming to visit, he learns about the time rings. So, food for thought. That's all I have for today. If for more, subscribe, because I'll be pumping out more. Yeah. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Have a nice day.